Hi there, welcome to the first in this series of quickfire MCQ tests to help AQA A Level Business students get ready for Paper 1 in the summer. In the first sitting of Paper 1 there were 15 MCQs as expected and the average score was just under 10. Some questions appeared to be relatively easy with 90% plus. Getting them right, one or two of them, students really struggled. So practicing questions is always a good idea as part of your revision. This series of 15 MCQs is about Year 1 content. That's sections 3.1 to 3.6 from the specification. As we go through them, I'll set the question, give you your choices, and I'll ask you to pause the video whilst you choose your answer. Once you're happy that you've made your choice, start the video again, see how you get on, and keep your own score. And as we go through, I'll try to provide an explanation as to why the answer is the way it is. So if you're ready, grab hold of a piece of paper and a pen. Let's get ready for the first question. Starbucks is an American coffee shop. In recent years, it has opened over 300 tea shops in America to appeal to its existing customers. According to Ansoff's matrix, this is an example of, and here are your choices. Pause the video now to make your choice. And let's see what the answer was. Hopefully you chose answer D. The clue was in the wording of the question here. We were told Starbucks is a coffee shop that has opened tea shops. That suggests that's new products. However, that is to appeal to its existing customers, the existing market, rather than to new customers. And if we recall from Ansoff's matrix, that puts us in the product development side of the matrix. New products being sold to existing customers or markets. Let's move on to question 2. Last year, a business had total costs of 400,000, of which 100,000 were fixed. If the variable cost per unit was £20, how many units did the business produce last year? And here are your 4 options. Pause the video now to work out the answer and make your choice. And let's have a look at the answer. In this case, the correct answer is B. Let's have a look quickly at the workings. How do we get to B, 15,000 units? Well, we know from the vital formula that total costs is variable costs plus fixed costs. And we're given 2 parts of that formula. 400,000 is total costs, and we know that fixed costs are 100,000, which must mean that variable costs were 300,000. We were told that the variable cost per unit is £20 per unit, so we divide 300,000 by 20 to find out the number of produced units, 15,000 units. The answer is B. Okay, the next question. In the Blake Mouton Managerial Grid, what name is given to the leadership style with maximum concern for both people and completion of tasks? And here are your 4 choices. Pause the video, have a go, see if you can find the right answer. And now let's take a look at the right answer to this one, which hopefully you identified was A. Team management is the point on the grid where there is maximum concern for both completing the task and also for people in the business. So top right hand corner of the Blake Mouton grid. Next question. According to the concept of stakeholder mapping, how should a business act towards stakeholders who have low levels of interest in the business and low power? Here are your 4 options. Read through those and pause the video now whilst you decide what you think the right answer is. And hopefully you've had a go at having a go at that question. Here is the answer. The answer is C. Communicate only when necessary. The concept of stakeholder mapping encourages companies or businesses to communicate and engage more directly and more regularly with stakeholders who have a high level of power and also a high level of interest. The situation described in question 4 was the bottom right hand quadrant there. Stakeholders with low level of interest and low levels of power. All you need to do is just communicate as and when is necessary. Okay, we're moving on to question 5. The use by retailers such as Tesco and Argos of a combination of physical stores, catalogues and e-commerce to sell to customers is an example of what? Here are the 4 choices. Pause the video and make your selection. And I'm hoping that you identified that that is answer D, multi-channel distribution, or omni-channel distribution as it's sometimes also referred to. The combination of both physical stores on the high street, out-of-town stores, as well as sophisticated e-commerce. Let's move on to the next question. A business has a product which has a price elasticity of demand coefficient, a paired coefficient of minus 0.5. If the business increases the price by 4%, what will happen to the quantity demanded? And here are the 4 choices. Again, pause the video and identify the correct answer. And for this question, we're hoping that you've identified the correct answer is A. Now, don't forget, price elasticity demand measures the responsiveness of demand in response to a change in price. It's calculated as the percentage change in price, demand divided by the percentage change in price. And we were told that the coefficient was minus 0.5. What that means is that demand will change by half the change in price. So in the case of a price increase, we would expect demand to fall. So we're looking at either answer A or C. We were told that the price increase was 4%. Therefore, we should expect the percentage change in demand to be half of that. Half of 4%, 4 percentage points, 2 percentage points. So answer A, demand falls by 2%. Moving on to question 7. Which of these measures would help a business monitor the reliability of a supplier? Here are the 4 choices. Pause the video, have a go answering this question. And if you've had a go and worked out what you think the right answer is, hopefully you've spotted that the answer in this case is D. A business trying to monitor the reliability of a supplier, in particularly the case in businesses that operate just in time or lean production, the reliability of deliveries made on time is a key factor in choosing your suppliers. Next question. Which of the following will be a cause of increased quality costs for a business manufacturing electrical goods for the consumer market? So quality costs for a manufacturer of electrical goods for consumers. Here are the 4 selections. Pause the video, have a go. And if you've had a go, written your answer down, hopefully you've written answer B. More claims on warranties. It's often the case that businesses that manufacture goods, electrical goods and other goods for the consumer markets offer a warranty, a guarantee that the product will be of sufficient quality, it won't break down, it will be reliable. And of course, if consumers make a claim on that warranty, it's that something has gone wrong, and therefore it's a cost arising from poor quality which will hit the manufacturer. So answer B is the correct answer. Question 9 now. If a business is working at 60% capacity utilisation and is producing 9,000 units per week, what is the total weekly production capacity for the business? Here are your 4 choices. Have a go by pausing the video and doing the calculation. Now let's have a look. Did you calculate that the correct answer is D? The correct answer is D. Let's have a look at the calculation there. We know that capacity utilisation is calculated as output divided by capacity. Now we were given the utilisation figure and we were given the output figure. So actually we just need to rearrange that formula. Capacity is output divided by that capacity utilisation percentage. So it's 9,000 units divided by 0.6, which is 15,000 units per week. Now you could have worked it out or eliminated most of the answers there, noticing that it's producing 9,000 units per week at 60% capacity utilisation. Therefore, the only answer that could have been right is the one where the capacity is higher than 9,000 units. So maybe that's the way you spotted the right answer. Moving on to question 10. Which of the following best describes a fixed cost? A fixed cost is, and here are your 4 options. So pause the video and spot the correct answer. And let's have a look. Did you choose answer C? Hopefully you did. Now, quite a few people might go for answer D. A fixed cost is a cost that does not change. But of course, that's not quite right, because fixed costs do change. The level of rent paid on the warehouse, or the salaries paid to staff, or the advertising budget, that does change in pound note terms. But the important thing is it doesn't change in relation to output. That's what we mean by a fixed cost. So fixed costs are those which do not change in relation to the level of output. Therefore the answer was C. Let's move on to question 11, almost there now. A business decides to raise finance by using sale and leaseback. What does this involve? Here are your 4 choices. Pause the video, have a go. Quite a bit to read through there. So sale and leaseback, in this case, from the 4 options there, the correct answer is answer A. Sale and leaseback involves selling a fixed asset, for example a piece of land or some buildings, and then leasing them back from the person you've sold them to, the new owner. And this is quite a common way of raising finance from the assets of the business, the fixed assets of the business. Of course, you have to have them before you can sale and lease back. For example, selling a business building for £1 million and then leasing it back for, I don't know, £50,000 a year would be a way of raising finance. You no longer own the asset, but you still get to use it. So sale and lease back is a form of finance raising, a source of finance. Question 12 now. Have a go at this one. A business has a budgeted profit for the month of £25,000. Actual revenues turn out to be £80,000 and actual costs £45,000. What is the profit variance for the month? A variance analysis question. So here are your 4 choices. Pause the video and have a go. Hopefully you've done your calculations. And let's take a look at what the right answer is and how we get to it. Well, in this case, the answer is A, a £10,000 favourable variance. Let's work that through. Well, what was the actual profit for the month? We were told that we had revenues of 80,000 less costs of 45,000. Therefore, the profit for the month was actually £35,000. We were told the budget profit for the month was £25,000. Therefore, we made more profit than we budgeted. Therefore, a favourable variance, and the difference is £10,000. Always remember to put F favourable or A adverse after your calculation to show the examiner that you know the difference between a favourable and an adverse variance. The answer isn't just £10,000, it's a favourable variance. Profit was better than we expected. Question 13 now. 2 statements. Now this is a style of question that increasingly I think will feature on the AQA papers. So let's have a go at this. Statement 1. According to Taylor, piece rate payments will usually motivate employees. Statement 2. According to Hertzberg, piece rate payments will usually motivate employees. Having read those 2 statements, select please from the following options. Which of these 4 options is correct? Pause the video, have a think, and make your choice. And if you've started the video again, hopefully you've made a choice, and even better if your choice is B. Let's have a look. Why is it B? That statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. Well, statement 1, Taylor. Well, Taylor, the man behind Scientific Management, was a big fan of piece rate payments. In fact, he advocated piece rate payments based on how much is produced as a way of motivating and rewarding employees. So statement 1 is true, which means it can only be answer A or B. What about statement 2? Well, Hertzberg, did he believe that piece rate payments will usually motivate employees? Well, the answer is no, he didn't really. Hertzberg was much more of a fan of concepts such as empowerment, job rotation, and whilst pay was a factor, it was a hygiene factor, not a motivating factor. So the absence of satisfactory pay would be a problem for motivation, but Hertzberg didn't believe in piece rate payments to motivate employees. So the answer is B. In this case, statement 2 is false, statement 1 is true, therefore answer B. 2 more to go now. Question 14. A simple one, quick one here. The process of flattening organisational hierarchies is known as, which of these 4 is it? Pause the video, quickly have a think, make your choice. And hopefully, fairly straightforward question this, and I would expect 90% of students to get this one right. The correct answer is B, delayering, reducing the number of layers in the organisational hierarchies. Flattening in the sense of turning a tall structure into a flatter structure, fewer layers. And of course that's a strategy that is being adopted by an increasing number of businesses, particularly in recent months in the UK supermarket and retail sector, as a way of trying to remain cost competitive. So look out for delayering. But a simple question. And then one just to finish off, it's actually a year 1 concept, but with a little bit of year 2 as well. Just to finish off, here's question 15. A business is most likely to be adversely affected by a significant rise in interest rates if it has what? Here are your 4 options. Pause the video, have a think, and then make your choice. And for this last question, how did you get on? Well, if you said C, you'd be right. Why is it C? Well, we're talking about a significant rise in interest rates. Therefore, to be adversely affected, we'd have to have borrowings or debt rather than cash. So we'd be paying more interest on the debts that we have, the loans, bank overdrafts. But we're also told it will be a change in interest rates. So obviously businesses that have those debts at variable interest rates where the interest is charged as the interest rate changes will be more likely to be affected than those that have their debts at fixed rates, where they're not going to be affected in the short term by a change in rate. So the answer was C. Okay guys, there we go. Hopefully you've had a go at all 15 of those. I don't know how you've got on. Only you can have marked your own questions. If you got 10 or more, you're ahead of the game compared with the average in the last sitting of the exam. But the important thing is to have had a go and to think about why the answers were the way they were. So hopefully you found that useful. We'll be doing lots more of these over the coming weeks and months. So for now, I'll sign off. Thank you.